So, like, when you fart and you smell it, you're actually inhaling someone's damn poop dust. So, when you farted in my fucking milk, do you know what I tasted? Fucking poop. League of Tomorrow is back, bringing you advice today to help you win your leagues tomorrow. Now, on today's show, we have our week 2 takeaways, trade targets for league-winning running backs. There's 3 things you need to find a league-winning running back, and that's exactly what we're going to bring for you today. Before I start today's show, I would like to say thank you guys. We just hit the 100 subscriber mark, and I'm stoked about it. I get it's not a huge amount, but it's definitely a benchmark we've been waiting for. I just appreciate the support a ton. If you guys could keep helping us growing, put a like down there and hit that subscribe button. All right, let's start our week 2 takeaways video. And I hope you guys didn't play against Tyreek Hill today, because my God, with that guy mad with 2 touchdowns and almost 200 total scrimmage yards. I hope you didn't play against him. If there was someone to tell you to draft him and he was going to do better without Patrick Mahomes, I wish someone like that was out there. All right, so the first game we're going to recap today is the Saints and the Bucs. Michael Thomas having another good game, showing that he's really coming back to form. Not that I will think he's a wide receiver 1 going forward, but he definitely has a lot more trade value than the beginning of the season. Just being able to see him being this competent in the passing game and just running routes like he used to. I don't think he would be a wide receiver 1, like I said, but I still think he is a good trade target if you can sell low-end RB2, maybe a Josh Jacabs for him. That would be a fair trade in my opinion. The next guy on the Saints offense I'd like to talk about is Chris Olave. He went 5 for 80 today, and while that's not the most impressive stat line, even though it's not bad, it does show, if you were watching the game, even though he was targeted deep, which I was scared to start the season that he would only be this deep threat, like a Henry Ruggs-esque like player, he was also targeted in the short to medium game. 5 for 80, giving him a better floor, even though he missed all 3 of those deep shots, which he could have very easily hit. They were just inches apart. It was a missed throw twice by Jameis. He would have, 150 plus in 2 if James could have actually hit those throws. So he is a very great flex play in my opinion, just as well as like almost all these rookie wide receivers coming in that are developing a lot faster and being a very intricate part of their offense a lot sooner in year 1, like we've seen in the past 2 years wide receivers be able to do. Like Garrett Wilson did it this week with 102. He showed he's a very good flex play, as well as Drake London shows he's a great flex play as well. So on the Bucs side, starting wide receiver Mike Evans, the only one healthy. Chris Godwin out, Julio Jones out. This is really why you could see Tom Brady not have his usual game, where if you're scared to start him in weeks 4, don't be, because he had so many drop balls when watching this game by his wide receiver. I have never seen a quarterback so mad. If you've got to slam your freaking iPad to the ground, it shows exactly how frustrating it is to work with backups. Mike Evans did get ejected. He played most of the game and looked good when he played. Chris Godwin obviously out still with that lingering injury. Hopefully he will come back soon and help this offense out. But then you have Julio Jones also out. So you're starting almost Russell Gage. You don't have much when you have Scotty Miller as an intricate part of this offense. I mean, it really shows how much they were hurting there, and they were able to then stack the box against Leo Fournette. So Leo Fournette went 24 for 65 on the ground and 2 for 9 in the air. So the reason why he had such a terrible performance is because they could stack the box against him. Like I was saying earlier in the episode, there's 3 reasons why we buy a running back, and this is why Leo Fournette is one of my biggest trade targets, is he has pass catching ability, a high speed score, which he has of 91 percentile. If you don't realize why this matters so much, it's because that these running backs can give you a long breakaway touchdown and win you a week because of that. And the second reason you want to trade for him, pass catching back. So it gives him that high floor. I understand he's only had 2 receptions, but he was boxed out mostly in the box this week because of game plan. And you'll see more receptions for this guy. He's looking like a 60 to 70 reception guy. Just like I said last year, why to buy him. This is a great time to buy Leo. It may be your only chance this entire year. So the last thing we're looking for is that he's a 3-down skill set running back that can be on the field for all 3 downs. So to break it up, we have 1, he has a high speed score. 2, he's a pass catching back, and 3, he can be utilized in a 3-down bell cow. The first player that fits this description besides Fat Lenny is Breece Hall, who as a rookie, he had a 4.39 40-yard dash, which is 97th percentile. He had a 116.9 speed score, which is 98th percentile. And he had a 131 burst score, which is 94th percentile. He had a 10% college dominator rating. Now, again, I'm bringing up all these college statistics, but as well, this is his athleticism, and this is why he fits the mold of running backs you want to buy. And after only having 7 carries and splitting the workload with Michael Carter, just this early, he went 7 for 50 on the ground, which over doubled Michael Carter, who had 7 carries as well. And he went 1 for 16 in the air, but we know week 1, he was their leading wide receiver with 7 receptions. So he can be utilized in that fashion, and with a 10% college passing rating, that he will be able to succeed in that role. And being able to pass Michael Carter this early is a really good thing to see. You saw Jonathan Taylor the first weeks of last year, weeks 1 through 3, almost being a waiver wire pickup. He was being traded for wide receiver 3 values because the first 3 weeks he did not perform until he picked up that workload fully. So I do believe down the stretch, Michael Carter is an easy trade for Target where you can trade a wide receiver for it and probably get him. If after Tyler Lockett's 7 for 109 yard performance, you could probably go ahead and trade Tyler Lockett for Breece Hall straight up. And it's just an easy buy when he checks all the boxes. So the next running back on this list is actually a sell high where you can get immense value for this guy. After 2 weeks, he has performed extremely well with limited carries. The reason why he kind of goes back to the opposite of the running backs we're talking about. So this guy had a 4.6 40-yard dash with a 47th percentile feed score. He had a 92.5 speed score, which is 38th percentile. So he was bottom of the bottom, but he was drafted by an incredibly good offense, and everyone was very hyped for him year 1, and he underperformed both years. So it's his 3rd year, and this is Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who has outperformed expectations both weeks to start the season. He was 8 for 74 on the ground and 4 for 44 in the air. He had a good pass catching ability, which he has shown from college. I give him that. He outperformed his rushes. Combined, he has a total of 20 rushes per 2 weeks, with even rookie Isaiah, I can't even say it, Pacheco, I believe, going toe-to-toe with him, splitting touches. He doesn't check any of these boxes, and he's outperformed his ADP by so much. I believe you could get a guy like our next target, Deontay Johnson, for him, straight up. There's many wide receivers of that range I would like to go get for Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I don't think he will be continually outperforming his value at what he's now valued at for the rest of the season, which does lead us to the next guy I was talking about, Deontay Johnson. This guy is so safe. He's safer than wearing 2 condoms and having birth control. Deontay Johnson, week 1, had 7 for 55, and this week he had 6 for 57. You see this very safe, no touchdown, so you can buy him very easily, but he's still performing just like he did last year, where he'd have these weeks, but he would almost never dud you. I believe he had 2 total dud weeks under 8 points last year. Full PPR, I don't believe he had one game that was under 10 points last year like this. So he is a safe guy, and he has that touchdown upside where it's not the best offense, but they can still get down the field and score. And he's never going to dud you. He's just a very nice piece to have in your offense to have upside and stability. So that's my final trade for Target.